We had a graduation in Nagpur Seminary. 68 students graduated. I looked at all the faculty, over 50, and the administration, and I thanked them. I thank them because they are the ones shaping tomorrow's leaders. And I was telling them, be on your knees for these young people. And we have so many seminaries in the world. So many young people are coming out, but passionate, willing to suffer for Christ. And that all number is reducing. We need a generation, men and women, educated, humble, willing to serve, be like Christ. And that we need to produce. That won't come by giving 4 points of theology. And it's important. That understanding is so important, but people need to be moved in the hearts, and there is a change in renewing of their mind. People with all these educations, they struggle in their families, raising their children, have a good marriage, not even a good relation with the neighbor. A renewal of the mind, we read in Romans, that need to take place. And so I pray that that you will continue to do. Thank you for your life pouring upon these students, tomorrow's God's leaders. Is man really lost? Right now 10:03, my time, I have to finish on by 11:30, the Indian way?
Oh yeah, Indian way.
Okay, 10:45. Let's roll that DVD. I'm going to show every along with every message, a 5 minutes DVD. Talk something about this one. Here is a man was lost, had everything. In Indian diaspora, lived different parts of the world. He was lost. But as we sang, Christ came into his life. Let's watch that.
My name is Deepak Matani, and I come from a Sindhi background. My parents were from Pakistan before partition, and at Pakistan, because they were Hindus in a very Muslim area, they had to flee Pakistan, and with less than a couple of hundred rupees, came to North India, moved then to Bombay, and within 6 months, my father decided, at that time he had 2 children, I'm the youngest of 5, decided that India was not the place for him to be and not a place for bringing up family. Because he was a businessman, he decided to try his luck elsewhere. So he went to the ports, and because there weren't very many passenger ships then, he got on a cargo ship and told the captain, "Where are you going?" He said, "Indonesia." He said, "How far is that?" He said, 6,000 miles away. "Excellent. Count 4 baggages tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. Thus started the journey. And he went to Indonesia, then Singapore, then Hong Kong. And in each of these places he set up a business. I was born in Hong Kong, as were the other 2 of my siblings. And when I was 4 years old, we moved to Japan. I grew up in Japan, and in Japan, like with many other things, my father set up a business and drilled into all of us that money and success is all that you need to be happy in life. Our mother passed away when I was 12 from kidney disease, and that was quite a difficult situation. Anyways, we all did the best we could, got our education, some of us got married. I remained single as I was the youngest. I then went to Europe after I had my education and my degrees from Japan and Switzerland to set up a business in Geneva, Switzerland. In 1981, I set up the business, and within 3 years, I took the business from 0 to 4 million pounds in electronics distribution. That was very successful. I was traveling in 5-star hotels, first-class air travel. Life was very good indeed. But I had no time for God. I was working 24/7, and I pushed people out of my way just to achieve the success I wanted. And then a tragedy occurred in my life. My sister, who was visiting me for 2 weeks in Geneva, was killed instantly in an automobile for me and turned my life upside down. 6 months I went through a major depression and started to smoke and drink quite heavily. I lost interest in the business and became even suicidal. Until one day I met another Sindhi believer in Geneva who introduced me, or tried to introduce me, to his faith, the Christian God. Initially I was very reluctant and said, "I'm not interested. I will find my God in my Eastern religions." But gradually he took me through a process and told me, "Don't reject the Christian God because of Christians or the church, but focus on the man, Jesus, and what he says, his words. And based on that, make your decision. Now, I had a Bible, and in it were some red letter words in the Gospels. And I read those and gradually started to believe in this God. I made some prayers, childlike prayers, asking God to give me one good night's sleep. And after I prayed to all the other gods, including Buddha and Allah, nobody answered that prayer until Jesus Christ. Today, I must admit, after 20 years as being a follower of Jesus Christ, he has answered every one of my prayers. I am, I would say today, more successful than I ever was before. Not because of money, but because of the people I have met through my faith all around the world as I travel. And even here now in Bangalore, where I'm meeting with top executives. I'm currently a management consultant based in the UK. And God is opening new doors where I'm meeting politicians, business leaders, and I'm able to share my faith with them in a very dramatic way. I'm so grateful to God for what he has done in my life to give me eternal life, not just for the future, but even for now.
Peter, my friend, missionary, future missionary in India, I'm claiming you by faith. And he said he likes to go to Zimbabwe, where he was born and raised. Raised there or just born? Okay. And so I think the end of my conference here, Wednesday, you will be recruited for India. Okay. So he gave me the topic, the lost. And that was 2 months ago. Then I went to India. So I've been thinking, I was so busy, but I was thinking about the lost. Every time, newspaper or anywhere I see the word lost, stop to read it. And you give so much attention for the lost of leg or lost of hand, but how many of us really, how much the world care about the spiritual lostness, the lostness of our souls? This news from New York City, man who lost a leg in a drunk subway fall gets, did you read this? 2.3 million settlement. This was last week, February 17th or something. Dustin Dibble of Brooklyn has admitted that he was so drunk he doesn't even remember the incident at the Union Square subway station in April 2006. But Dibble's lawyer argued in the court that the motorman had time to stop the train when he saw the 25-year-old lying on the tracks 180 feet away, and the jury agreed, assigning most of the blame to New York City Transit. The man got 2.3 million. What about the spiritual lostness? All over the world, in the Middle East, Asia, Africa, America, people are dying every day without Jesus Christ. Do we care about them? Is man really lost?